Program. Yeah, you guessed it. It's time for Ron the Car Guy from Westside Auto Pros, as we try to teach you a little bit about your vehicle and some takeaways.
That's right. We bring takeaways.
Okay, so
absolutely.
How about people don't want to have your car taken away on a hook on the back of a truck? That's a good idea.
That is a good idea. You would not want to ignore the check engine light, which is what we're going to talk about today. And this kind of came to light over the weekend. I drive a Ford truck, so I sit up a little bit higher than some people. And I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but you drive down I-235 at night and you kind of look over at the dashboard of people's cars, and there's all kinds of warning lights on these cars, and people are driving around ignoring them. And it just, as a car guy, it just eats away at me. I mean, not only because of the lost revenue that we're not checking the lights out, but because of the damage that I know it's causing to the car.
See, we don't sit quite so high when you have a regular sized vehicle, so you can't see down into a car next to you. But you said you can really see it that easily.
Oh yeah. The lights are illuminated, and whether it's a check engine light or an ABS light or stuff like that, and you just wonder if people know what's wrong with the car and they're ignoring it, or if they're just ignoring it, hoping it doesn't, it goes away, which is the wrong thing to do.
You sent us the email yesterday about what you were going to talk about, and obviously I see the use for the light, but it's kind of a frustrating light. I wish, in addition to the light, maybe someday cars will have something that scrolls across the dash that reads the code and said, here's what's wrong. You know what I mean?
Exactly, or tells you. I mean, maybe we could, put it on a scale of 1 to 3. 1 is critical. Let's check this out. 3, we can wait a little bit, or next time you're in for service or something, get it checked out. But it's almost an intimidation type light. I mean, the light will come on in one of 2 ways. It'll come on and stay on solid, which is typically what you see. Here's a picture of over the years, the different terminology. The check engine light actually came out in 1986. And this is the different versions and terminology of what they've had over the years.
Check engine soon. Okay, soon. What do you mean soon? What soon? Like tomorrow? Next week?
They did away with that one, the service engine soon, because people were confused. They confused service with an oil change, and that would come on, and they would think that, I got to get in and get my oil changed, when in fact it was trying to tell you that there was a problem going on with it. So that one kind of went away. Now it's usually just a picture of the engine, like in the upper left hand, or it says check in the middle of the engine, like the bottom center one. But that light will come on and it will stay on solid, which is typically what happens. And that, for the most part, what that means is, at your earliest convenience, get it in, get it checked out, see why it's on.
Right.
The other thing that will happen with that, and some of us have experienced it, we certainly see it, is it'll flash.
It's trying to get your attention when it's flashing.
Yeah, like anything when it flashes, it's trying to get your attention. And so it's trying to get your attention, and when that comes on and it's flashing, that means, hey, go get help. Get this thing checked out very soon. And most often, it's because of what they call a misfire. The engine's, not running smoothly, and when that happens, there's all kinds of damage can be going on to other components in there. So if it's flashing, go get it checked out.
Now, a lot of times when people see the check engine light come on, they don't want to bring it in because they're just seeing dollars. They're seeing dollars, and I don't have the time, I don't have the money to afford this, but when the check engine light is on, it could be something really simple, can it?
We see it, anywhere from, one of the more common causes is a loose gas cap.
The gas cap.
Yeah, the gas cap doesn't get tightened on there. We had a car the other day that the check engine light was on, and the dipstick wasn't pushed all the way down.
Oh wow!
Really?
Into the engine. Yeah, they're that sensitive.
I haven't heard of that.
They're almost too sensitive.
So
I mean,
if you see your check engine light come on, are there a couple things, like, before you freak out, stop and do a trip around the car and look for some specific things?
That's a great point, Jackie, and you're right. If the check engine light comes on, like, shortly after you got gas this morning, this afternoon, the check engine light comes on, go check your gas cap, and see if it's loose. Now, when you tighten your gas cap, the check engine light won't immediately go off. I mean, it will stay on, depending on the make and model of the car, a predetermined number of startups and drive times and cycles. And that's the other thing people don't realize is that the check engine light doesn't come on at the first sign of trouble. If something fails in the car that's going to turn it on, the computer will note that, and then it'll wait and see if it does it again the next time the car is driven. And if it happens a second time, then it will turn the light on. So instead of just coming on for a fluke reason, the computers usually confirm that, hey, this has happened a couple of times, I need to turn the light on.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
So, but you're right. You know, check and make sure your gas cap isn't loose. I mean, that's a relatively common one. If that isn't the problem, you pretty much need to have it checked out and see what's going on.
And now the dipstick too. So dipstick and gas cap. Never heard of the dipstick.
Yeah. It was on a European car, and they're a little more finicky and stuff. So. But the big thing is, you know, don't ignore it. Don't be one of the cars that I see on I-235 driving around with the light on, because it comes on for a reason. And I've heard people come in and say, oh, I took my car in, I had it checked out, and they said there's really not a reason to come on, or it's on, but it's no big deal. It's a huge deal. Let's say it's on for something minor, something that doesn't affect, you know, overall operation of the car, something that's not going to damage something, and you elect to not fix it. You don't want to spend the money, so you're just going to drive around with the light on, or put a piece of black tape over it, or whatever your resolution is. What will happen is you won't know when the next thing fails. That would turn the light on.
Right, there could be more than one thing. Okay.
Absolutely. You've been ignoring it for 30 days. Now a sensor or something bails. That is critical, is going to ruin the engine, is going to ruin the catalytic converter or something expensive. You don't know, because you've elected to ignore this light and it's on already. And that's really where my concern comes in, is you know, people are thinking, oh, that light's on, it's been on for 30 days because of A, and all of a sudden there's a B problem and you don't know it.
Yeah.
So you
really
kind
of get used to the light.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Kind of ignore it after,
yeah, you wait for it to burn out.
Right.
Which on some cars, when it does burn out, then a chime goes off all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a backup, so.
Okay, so you have all that. But again, don't ignore the check engine.
Find out why it's on.
Okay, exactly. Now, looks like over the next week, Jason's been telling us it's cooler temperatures, so we should be okay for a while. But in the next couple of weeks, I want to make sure we talk about making sure your coolant in your vehicle is up to snuff.
We can talk about that on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah. And speaking of temperatures, good weather for Subaru.
Yeah, it looks like the rain will be done by then.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Jackie, don't you and I have to go somewhere tomorrow?
What? West Side Auto Pro?
I got it covered.
Are we taking over?
You know, but that's.
There's going to be a great day special at West Side Auto Pros.
Subaru's cool. I mean, if you haven't been to Subaru ever, go check it out.
And like we mentioned, while you go to Subaru, you get to see all the animals that will be there tomorrow. All
Jackie,
the animals.
Jason.
Okay. So, well, good job, man.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow night.
All right.
All right, pal. It is 6:52. This is a great day.